Assalamu alaikum, I'm Mariam Ahmed from Egypt, and in this video I'll be talking about the Palestine issue. Al-Aqsa Mosque is one of the largest mosques in the world and one of the most sacred by Muslims. It was called the Holy Mosque in the past. Al-Aqsa Mosque is the second mosque on earth, where the Prophet Adam built Al-Kaaba, and 14 years after that he built Al-Aqsa Mosque. Al-Aqsa Mosque is located in Al-Qudus in Palestine, and it contains the Dome of the Rock, which was established by the ruler Abd al-Malik ibn Marwan. It is considered one of the oldest Islamic monuments remaining until now. The size of Al-Aqsa Mosque is 144,000 square meters, and it contains 4 minarets and 7 chapels. There are 25 freshwater wells in Al-Aqsa Mosque, and the mosque also has so many domes that were specialized for the scholars, including the Dome of the Rock and the Dome of the Prophet. Al-Aqsa Mosque was a center for teaching the sciences and the knowledge of the Islamic civilization, and a field for major religious celebrations. Al-Aqsa Mosque is the entire space between the walls. As I said at the beginning, Al-Aqsa Mosque is one of the largest mosques in the world and one of the most sacred. The earth is gateway to heaven, as mentioned in the Quran in Surah Al-Isra in the first verse.
سبحان الذي أسرى بعبده ليلا من المسجد الحرام إلى المسجد الأقصى الذي باركنا حوله لنريه من آياتنا إنه هو السميع البصير.
Which interprets say that the Lord is talking about his greatness, as he was the one who took his prophet Muhammad, may God's prayers and peace be upon him, from the sacred mosque in Mecca to Al-Aqsa Mosque in Palestine, which God blessed with fruit and made it a place for many prophets. Al-Aqsa Mosque was built by the Prophet Adam and was renewed by Ibrahim and Sulaiman, and it contains the niche of the Prophet Dawood. It's the first of 2 Qiblas and the third of 2 centuries. The first of 2 Qiblas because it was the first Qibla to which Muslims turned in their prayers for more than 16 months during the imamate of the Prophet Muhammad. May God bless him and grant him peace. And the third of 2 holy mosques where Prophet Muhammad, may God bless him and grant him peace, said, "Do not embark on a journey except for 3 things: the sacred mosque, the mosque of mind, and Al-Aqsa Mosque." As I said before, Al-Aqsa Mosque is located in Al-Qudus in Palestine. So let me tell you a little about Al-Qudus and the historical cities of Palestine. Al-Quds is the heart and the capital of Palestine, and the most important city from a religious perspective and a historical perspective. It's a holy city for Muslims and Christians and Jews. For Muslims because it contains the Aqsa Mosque and is the third holiest city after Mecca and Medina. And among Christians because they think that the Christ was crucified on the rock of Golgotha. And for Jews because it was the city that was conquered by the Prophet Dawood in 1000 BC. The sanctity of the city increases due to the presence of many religious monuments in it, including Al-Burak Pool and the Church of Resurrection and the Dome of the Rock Mosque. Located 16 kilometers north Al-Qudus is the city of Nablus, which is also known as uncrowned Queen of Palestine, which is considered home to much industry and trade in Palestine. And among the main attractions of Nablus city are the Jacob's Well and the Old City. And if you intend to visit Palestine, you must visit the city of Ramallah, as it has Deir Ghassana in its north, which is a small village that is considered one of the tourist attractions of Ramallah because it's full of stone houses. And there's also the city of Bethlehem in Palestine, which is one of the most beautiful places and important cities in Palestine. But this small city has a great religious importance because it's the birthplace of the Prophet Isa. And now Gaza. Gaza is a city that's located on the shore of the Mediterranean Sea, and it was mentioned several times in the Bible, and it's considered one of the most beautiful and the largest cities of Palestine. Gaza held a different place in the hearts of Arab, as it was an important center for a number of trade routes and was the target of one of the 2 famous journeys mentioned in the Quran, the winter and the summer journey. The winter journey to Yemen and the summer journey to Gaza and the outrisks of the Levant. Gaza is considered the most important city in Palestine because of its strategic location and economic and urban importance. It's now the temporary headquarters of the Palestinian Authority, and many of the authorities' headquarters and ministries are currently located there. And now we'll talk about the most important part of this video: the history of Palestine and the Israeli occupation. How did Palestine arise, and why is there this ethnic dispute over it? We'll find the beginning of this topic in the eras before the flood. Prophet Noah had 4 sons: Sam, Ham, Canaan, and Japheth. Canaan was the one who refused to ride the ark with Prophet Noah, and he and his mother drowned. After the flood, Ham, the son of Noah, had a boy and named him Canaan, after his brother. When Canaan grew up, he went to a piece of land on earth and began to populate it. This act was common among the grandchildren and the sons of the Prophet Noah after the flood. He named the land after his name, Land of Canaan, and he began to establish people from his grandchildren and children to live in it. In the 12th century BC, the Philistines united and merged with the people of Canaan and became one people for the land of Canaan. After a while, the land of Canaan would be named after them: Philistines, Palestine. At a time when Prophet Ibrahim came from Babylon to Egypt and from Egypt to the land of Canaan, a revelation was sent down to him that he would take his wife and his son Ismail to an unpopulated place in the Arabian desert. He would leave them. They stayed there until the water of Zamzam broke out for them. And the tribe of Jurhum came to them and stayed with them, and the Prophet Ismail learned from them how to speak the fluent Arabic, and he and his mother later settled in Mecca. At the same time, the wife of the Prophet Ibrahim, Sarah, and her son Ishaq were in the land of Canaan. Ishaq grew up and had two sons, Esau and Jacob. When Jacob grew up and inherited the prophecy from his father, he went to Babylon and got married, and he had 12 sons. Then he returned with them to the land of Canaan, and his children were named the 12 tribes, because their descendants are the children of Israel. After a while, the incident of Prophet Yusuf will happen, and after that, a while later, Prophet Yusuf will ask for his father and Jacob and his siblings to come visit him in Egypt. And then his family will live there for a while until they fell into the hands of Pharaoh, who hates them. They will work in difficult jobs and live in injustice and poverty. And corruption will spread among them until Prophet Musa come to them. And the Jews, aka children of Israel, did not believe in him. And when they believed in him and he asked them to leave Egypt, they refused, until he received an order declaring the harm of staying in Egypt. Then they left until they reached the land of Sinai. And when the Prophet Musa asked them for help in fighting the unjust ruler in the land of Canaan, they refused. So our Lord Allah sent down upon them the punishment of the desert. They stayed there for 40 years. And at that time, the generation of the children of Israel that refused to enter the land of Canaan died. And then came a generation that only wants to enter the land of Canaan. And indeed, the children of Israel was destined to enter the land of Canaan. Because the return from the desert was as if they had returned from death, at that time they had the Ark of the Covenant. Everyone was afraid of them and their strength. They were able to enter the land of Canaan easily and got rid of the oppressive ruler. Thus, in the land of Canaan, there was its original people and the children of Israel. Every time a prophet came to the children of Israel, they would kill him and disbelieve him. Until one day, an unjust and a powerful man called Galut began to appear and was destined to destroy many of the children of Israel. Until a man named Talut appeared who was destined to destroy Galut's army, and the prophet Dawood was the one who killed Galut with his own hands. After that, the children of Israel began to regain their authorities, and Dawood took over the rule. After him, the prophet Sulaiman, who built the temple of Sulaiman and built in it the Holy of Holies, in which the Ark of the Covenant and the rest of the legacies of the prophets were placed. The rule of the children of Israel continued until one day a man called Nebuchadnezzar came and was destined to destroy everything that the children of Israel possessed and took them as servant. After the end of their period of slavery under the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, and they're waiting for the Messiah, son of Maryam, came to them and they didn't believe them. They even helped the Romans, who hated Christians, to crucify him, his clone. And the diaspora struck the children of Israel, and they began to leave the land of Canaan, as its people were oppressed by the Romans, and they went to Europe until they completely left the land of Canaan. But even after Islam entered the land of Canaan, the children of Israel were sending crusaders, especially targeting Palestine, in order to search for the Holy of Holies and the Ark, which they believed was still there. Israelis say that Palestine is their land, and in fact it is the land of Philistines, who merged with the people of Canaan and remained the people of Canaan from the 12th century BC. The Israelis are currently searching the Aqsa Mosque to find the Ark of the Covenant, which they believe will prove that the land belongs to them. Where in fact the Ark was destroyed by the soldier of Nebuchadnezzar, or was smuggled by one of the Israeli priests, and no one knows where it went. And even if they found it, it will prove nothing. The Philistines lived in the country since the 12th BC. In approximately 1880 AD, in the building of Odessa in Ukraine, Jews met with the Russians and Gaul with the Ottoman consul Abdulhamid II, and offered to them that they would settle in Palestine. But their offer was rejected. They were forced to organize themselves and correspond with all the major Jews in the world. Over the course of 17 years, they held the first official conference in 1897 to study the issue. The Jews are financially capable, and among them are many of the richest people in the world, headed by the Rothschild families, who were able to leave urban countries in debt to them. And from the hour of the first official conference in 1897 until before the First World War ended, the Jews were migrating to Palestine, and the wealthy Jews began to send men to buy the land owned by the Palestinians, until the World War ended. And then it was time for the Arab to be divided. Britain was one of the largest countries in debt to the Jews, so it insisted on taking Palestine in order to give it to the Jews in order to get rid of the debts it owed. And it was actually agreed that Britain would take Palestine. Sometime later, the decision to partition Palestine was issued in 1947. Resolution number 181 and the Balfour Declaration stipulated that Palestine would be divided into 3 entities. An Arab country with an area of 42.2% of Palestine, including Western Galilee and the city of Aqsa and the West Bank and the southern coast extending from the north of the city of Asdod to Rafah, with part of the desert along the border with Egypt. A Jewish state with an area of 57.7% of Palestine and located on the coastal plain from Haifa to southern Tel Aviv and the eastern Galilee, including the Lake Tabri, Finger of Galilee, and the Naqb, including Rashash. Al-Quds and Beit Lahm and neighboring territories are under international guardianship. Until now, the United Nations believe that Israel is the occupier of Palestine, not its colonizer. And among the institutions that reject the Israeli occupation is a Jewish organization called Netori Karta. Now a video about how you can support Palestine will be displayed. I'll be talking about every person who wants to support Palestine but physically cannot and think they are helpless because they are living miles away from Palestine. 1. We have nothing but prayer for Palestine. Pray, pray, pray for Palestine and its people. 2. Donate. Whether you will be donating food, money, blood, clothes, donate. £5 you were planning to donate and things they will do no help, they does help. 3. Educate yourself about this matter so you can enlighten others. Search about this matter and know why and how did this conflict start. Know who supports whom so that you won't find yourself in a discussion standing speechless due to your lack of knowledge. 4. Silence is treason. I'm not expecting you to be some kind of influencer or a content creator, but I'm expecting you to at least know few people. So talking about this matter with your family, your sibling, your neighbors, your classmates, your friends does matter. When you talk about this matter with someone and this someone talks about this matter with someone he knows and that someone he knows talks about it with someone he knows, that's how we spread things. That's how we spread facts about this conflict and this Palestine issue, and that's how we do trends. And living in this digital era, even posting a story that you know will only last for 24 hours matter. Or sharing a post that will only get 3 reacts matter. Or commenting talking about this matter, knowing that you will get 0 replies matter. 5. Destroy the enemy's economy. Not by just boycotting Israeli products, you also must boycott every product, digital product or physical product, that are provided to you by everyone who supports Israel. Deciding not to purchase this small, cute, Happy Mac meal matter. وبالنسبة للمصادر فمنها كتاب القضية الفلسطينية وأكذوبة الحق التاريخي لليهود دكتور غازي الحسين و History of Question of Palestine United Nations والجزيرة was the Israel-Palestine و Medical Aid for Palestine What are the issues facing Palestine و Global Conflict Tracker Israeli-Palestinian Conflict و Jewish Property Claims Against Arab Countries book Yale Law School Palestine Historical Background Temple Mount at the Temple of Sulaiman Bible History Daily Jewish Virtual Library. And a special thanks to Dr. Ahmed Abdul Basit for his brilliant competition. Everyone should be educated about this matter and fact must be spread.